VenomFangx. I would like to begin with an ad hominem attack for pure amusement. You are an arrogant little brainwashed motherfucker. Never in my life have I encountered such an ignorant human being. You regurgitate the arguments of a convicted criminal who is, at this very moment, rotting in a prison cell due to his deceit. I can only hope that his predicament will give you an idea as to where your life is ultimately going. You have made a series of videos in which you claim you have disproved evolution. I have decided to respond to part 5 in which you assert that a geological formation is in fact Noah's Ark. For the purposes of this video your voice will be replaced with that of a woman. I will then proceed to demolish your claims.
Hello, I am VenomFangx. Evolution is a lie and I am a cocksucker. By the way, Noah had an ark.
VenomFang, you are a scientific illiterate who has nothing to say about the science of evolution. You simply regurgitate nonsensical arguments that you have heard from other creationists. You continuously assert that your claims are true no matter how many times you are proven wrong. You even go as far as to desperately try and claim that evolution is a philosophy and not scientific theory.
I have run out of lies about evolution. But I will say this. This story of Noah is true. I know this because the story of Noah had been copied by many generations. This is my proof.
Thank you, VenomFangx. So by your reasoning, if an ancient myth is regurgitated throughout history, then this somehow makes it true. The problem is, Venom, that each of these flood myths were derived from one another. The flood myth in the Epic of Gilgamesh was adapted from an earlier myth, the Epic of Atrahasis, which is also very similar to the Genesis flood myth. 6 of these ancient Near East flood myths contain numerous distinctive story elements that are very similar to the Genesis flood myth and indicate a literary dependency on a common body of legends about the flood hero Ziusedra, also known as Noah. They are all based on the Euphrates River flood of 2900 BC. In other words, your flood myth was based on a river that flooded in 2900 BC, nothing to do with an imaginary flooding of the entire world. This is the nature of myths. They are regurgitated throughout history, each generation adding new bullshit to the myth. Just like your 5,000-year-old resurrected God-man myth, which predated Jesus by around 3,000 years.
I have found Noah's Ark. In Turkey there is a boat-shaped rock formation. This hole in the ground is Noah's Ark. Did I mention I am a cocksucker?
Venom, once again you will be exposed lying. The rock formation you reference has nothing to do with any ark. Firstly, the Bible claims Ark landed on the mountains of Ararat. Mount Ararat consists of 2 mountains, or peaks, called Greater Ararat and Lesser Ararat. This boat-shaped formation is on neither of those mountains. Secondly, the shape of this formation is like a modern fossilized boat, but it does not fit the dimensions of Noah's Ark given in the Bible. The Bible says the width was 50 cubits. That means it was rectangular, not pointed at the ends, but you can see the formation pictured is only a few meters wide at the ends, not 50 cubits. This formation's width is all wrong. Thirdly, Bible-believing geologists have thoroughly examined this object and found it is made of different types of rock. If it were the Ark it would contain fossilized wood, but it doesn't. Some people thought they found fossilized wood in it in the 1980s, but it turned out to be basaltovolcanic rock. Lastly, other rock formations in the area are the same shape as the formation you mention, but they are of different sizes. The Turkish Air Force released this photo that shows 3 similar arc shapes on Lesser Mount Ararat. Supporters of the formation you mention chose it only because its length roughly matches the ark's length. They ignore the smaller, similar geological formations. All these formations seem to have formed when volcanic material flowed down the mountain.
Evolutionists are stupid to believe in the fossil record. The Piltdown Man was a fake. I am a dumb fuck because I have ignored countless other transitional fossils. Also, Neanderthal are no different to us. It is much more rational to assume they are 900 years old, even though they lived alongside Cro-Magnon, who did not stay alive for 900 years. They were just aborigines. I cannot watch myself evolve, so that means evolution is wrong.
VenomFangx, you have said absolutely nothing about the fossil record. I assume this is because you know nothing of it. You simply reference a fake fossil, the Piltdown Man, in some kind of desperate attempt to draw attention away from the numerous fossils that exist. You simply assert that they are all apes or humans. I doubt you have even researched this topic. Would you care to explain why we see a development in these fossils, namely in their cranial capacities and physical appearance? I think not. Your strawman argument is hardly amusing. Your hypocrisy only continues when you claim that evolutionists believe in something they cannot see. You then offer an explanation for the existence of Neanderthals by saying that they lived for 900 years. I am afraid the truth of it is that they actually had a lower life expectancy than us.
The mechanisms for evolution do not exist, even though I have inherited features of my parents. I can prove this, because an animal will never have one of its legs growing from its head. This is the example I am giving. I do not even know what a mutation is.
VenomFangx, let me show you how stupid you are. This is a picture of a fly with a leg growing from its head. You mocked this idea and used it as evidence against evolution. This is a mutation caused by radiation. Now you see, Venom. This kind of thing happens. Your inability to understand the mechanisms of evolution leads you to irrational assumptions. I suggest you research this topic before you give lectures on it. Finally, Venom. Why is it that you are such a punk bitch? You cannot even have an open discussion. You refuse comments on your page and you are a lying little coward. Goodbye.